We grow up in kind of two different backgrounds, and it's really great to sit with somebody and have a conversation and talk about real world problems that are happening today.
Very few people have been able to pull this off. You've gone a year and you have a co-host, Will the Space Kid.
Yeah.
Was it both you guys sitting around one day like we need to have a way to kind of get these thoughts out, or what made it a joint effort?
So that's the thing. Me and Will, we're roommates. And we've been roommates for 2 years now. We have conversations all the time, and it's in-depth conversations. We talk about things that are going on, and especially we grow up in kind of two different backgrounds, and it's really great to sit with somebody and have a conversation and talk about real world problems that are happening today, and even just his thoughts on something, my thoughts on something. We never, if we agree, we talk about it. If we disagree, we talk about it. And it's more about knowledge. It's not about I'm right, you're right, or this is the right way to do it. This is the wrong way to do it. It's about we are able to sit and talk with each other, and I think that's important in a co-host as well as a friend.
Right.
And he provides that.
Yeah, I couldn't think of a better co-host, because just from the outside perspective, to me it sounds like you're leading the show, but then you kind of almost forget about him on a few episodes. You're like, wait a minute, this was him and Will, and then next thing you know, he comes in with a great kind of follow-up to what you said.
Yeah.
It's kind of just like the sensei kind of sitting back in the back lane, like, hey man, you missed this part, let me bring this back up.
Yeah, I think that we have a good bounce, because he can fill in when he might have a great question that I didn't ask.
Right.
And he can just boom fill in, or he may think different about a situation and then he'll jump in again. And we both know the dynamic of the show.
Right.
And I think that's also important, because we're not trying to both chase the lead role.
Right.
We talked about it previously about how we're splitting this up, how it's going to work, and everything was clear from the get-go.
Nice.
So we don't have those problems.
Absolutely.
And
that could definitely make for an awkward thing if you had an awkward episode and then you had a pass to do going to the bathroom in the middle of the night,
Yeah. Well, no, and it's funny because, when we first we had one sponsor when we were first starting out, and, that conversation came up. How do we split the profits? And we handled it perfectly, because we were able to talk about it.
Absolutely.
It wasn't like, oh, I think I deserve this, I think I deserve this. We had a conversation about it, and that's how we solved the situation. And there was no arguing, and it was great.